Okay, welcome back to the next video, and in this video I'm going to be showing you how to add in some poly primitives as well as how to kind of move around the viewport or workspace environment. So let's start. Let's say I wanted to add in a cube. The easiest way to do so would just make sure you're on the poly modeling tab and then click on the button of the cube. Boom, I got a cube. Well, that's pretty cool. But you know what? I changed my mind. I want a sphere. So I'm going to click on the sphere. Boom, got a sphere. That's awesome also. And now I want a cylinder. Click on a cylinder. Whoa, I got a cylinder. That's great. Changed my mind. I want a sphere. Click on the sphere again. And you might notice that the sphere isn't exactly showing up. Reason why? Everything is kind of just forming in the center. And by default, Maya likes to just put everything in the center, and you got to kind of move it around. So while I do want to talk about that, I feel like it's very, very important to understand how you move around your environment before we start moving things around on the screen. So let's talk about that. If you've used a different 3D modeling software before, like I know a bunch of you have probably used Autodesk Inventor, then this is going to be different. And that's okay that it's different because it all makes sense later on. It's just like an easier way of dealing with things. So to move around the screen, you might notice that I can kind of zoom in and out by scrolling the scroll wheel back and forth. That's great. If I point at something, it doesn't really follow the mouse, so it's this kind of hard set at the object. So I believe since the object's in the center, it's kind of just hard set there. Okay. If I try to click in the scroll wheel, it does nothing. If I try to like move with the mouse by clicking and holding stuff, it just kind of selects things. And if I do the other thing, it kind of opens up the quick menu here, and I could really mess things up if I'm not careful. So I don't recommend doing any of that. To move, what you have to do before any command is you have to be holding down the Alt key. So I'm going to be holding down the Alt key as I'm doing right now, and I'm going to click and hold the right button on the mouse. So I'm holding that the left button. I'm holding the left of the mouse, and you can notice that I can rotate around my screen, and that's really useful. I'm going to switch over to by clicking and holding the scroll wheel. Okay, so I'm clicking and holding the scroll wheel in, and you'll notice that I'm able to translate around the screen. And then lastly, I'm going to go to that right click now, click and hold that in, and you're going to notice that you can also kind of zoom in and out of the object. Okay, so yeah, you could kind of technically do that with the scroll wheel, but that's just an alternative way of focusing on the object. So between those three methods of movement, you should be able to kind of freely revolve and rotate across your screen. So that's kind of what I want you to do. I just want you to practice and feel comfortable, moving across your screen. And then once you feel comfortable doing so, I'll see you in the next video where we're going to go ahead and just start moving these objects from the center. Okay? So I'll see you then. Peace.